Eric Trump is going to make a curious case on Fox News for his daddy. Now, in the past, they were saying Russian interference in the elections. That's a Chinese hoax. That's just not true. It's a hoax. Sorry, climate change is a Chinese hoax. This is an FBI hoax. They got a lot of hoaxes. Now, the Trump family has changed their tune. And the Trump family says, well, yeah, interference. I mean, we got the indictments and stuff, yes. But it wasn't us. Oh, okay, well then who was responsible for the Russian interference? Fascinating, let's find out.
Russians being bold enough to meddle has to be stopped, and I hope that gets addressed.
I agree, and by the way, I wish Obama would have done that. If he knew, which he clearly did, I wish he would have stopped that. And the big question is, why did he do nothing about it?
Oh, so now it's Obama's fault. So it's not that the interference was on behalf of Trump and he's done nothing about it. It's Obama. Why didn't you stop the Russians from helping my dad? Okay, so there's two really important parts of this. First is never ever agree with a Republican, they will always use it against you. Joe Biden recently clarified something that we all knew based on all this reporting, but he admitted it. He said, we went up and Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, who I get on with well, smart guy, wanted no part of having a bipartisan commitment that we would say essentially Russia is doing this, stop. So during the election, they go up and they ask congressional leaders, we know, we have evidence here that Russia's interfering with the election. Can we all say it publicly so it doesn't come across as partisan? Mitch McConnell said, no, they're helping my guy. I'm not gonna help you. Yeah, let the Russians interfere to help Trump. No, if you say those facts, which I can see are facts, which now even the Trump administration and Fox News agrees to, I will say that you're being biased. So Biden admits they were afraid of what Mitch McConnell was gonna say. So they said, oh, Mitch McConnell, I get along so well with you, Mitch. Oh, you don't wanna do anything about it and you wanna help Trump. Okay, well, you agreed with Mitch McConnell and now they're blaming you for agreeing with Mitch McConnell. Losers, Democrats are the worst. All right, one more from Biden. He said, can you imagine if the president of the United States called a press conference in October with this fella and Steve Bannon and company and said, tell you what, the Russians are trying to interfere in our elections and we have to do something about it. What do you think would have happened? Would things have gotten better or would it further look like we were attempting to delegitimize the electoral process because of our opponent? In other words, they were afraid that Steve Bannon was gonna yell at them. And it turns out Fox News is yelling at you anyway, but this time because you didn't do anything to stop Trump and the Russians. Just act already. Be courageous, be bold, fight Republicans instead of constantly agreeing with them. If you ever do, they use it against you. Now we get to point number two. Wait a minute, Obama should have done something about the Russian interference, but he's not president anymore. Lucky for you, Eric, your dad is president. He can do something right now. So is he imposing the sanctions that he signed into law because they were passed overwhelmingly in Congress? The answer is no. In fact, his own top US intelligence official under Trump says he's not doing anything. Here, let me give you a report from the Hill. A top US intelligence official told lawmakers on Tuesday that he has not received specific direction from the Trump administration to disrupt Russian cyber attacks targeting US elections. That's not even about the past. That's about, hey, are you doing something right now to make sure that they don't do any cyber attacks in the next election? And Trump's basically go, nope. And then Eric Trump has the nerve to go on television and go, it's Obama's fault. Why don't you do something now? Okay, so speaking of which, that's Mike Rogers we're referring to. So Mike Rogers says, I haven't been granted any additional authorities. Now he's the NSA director, National Security Agency director, and he's saying, I asked Trump and he just didn't grant me the authority to do anything about it. He's also in charge of fighting cyber attacks. Oops. One more from Mike Rogers. He said, I need a policy decision that indicates there is a specific direction to do that. The president ultimately would make this decision in accordance with the recommendation from the Secretary of Defense. In other words, the president has to authorize it. It's not my fault, don't blame me. I would like to do something to make sure. Last time the Russians got into the voter registration rolls, but not to the voting booths to affect actual votes as far as we know. And they got into those rolls in about 22 states. That's pretty deep in. I mean, forget the collusion and the Facebook and Twitter impressions. That to me is really minor. But they're trying to go way further than that. So again, if you say, oh, well, Trump is awesome and who cares and he should have won anyway and Hillary's the worst candidate, there's a lot of truth in the latter part of that statement, et cetera. And that had nothing to do with, I don't care, put that aside, man. Then okay, let's talk about the future. Make sure they don't do anything now. Trump's still like, oh, still on my side, huh? Man, don't worry about the sanctions. A Russian cyber attacks, protect against that. Why would we do that? Man, don't worry about that either. In fact, sorry, one last one from Mike Rogers. Are we where we need to be in terms of protecting the actual vote? Quote, we're not where we need to be or where we want to be. But Trump won't do anything. So if you're in the camp of, what has Trump ever done for the Russians? How about this, where he under no circumstances will take action to protect our elections, the voting integrity. And by the way, if you're a progressive, voting integrity should be at the very top of your list. I want to see paper ballots. I want to make sure those are verified. I want to make sure they're triple checked. But we got a president in there going, if it's my buddies over in Russia, I'm not going to do anything about it. Besides which, last time around, they helped me, so why wouldn't I want them to interfere? Where's the action? Where's the beef? Okay, Trump isn't doing anything. What you just watched was one of the videos that we do today, but we actually do a whole 2-hour show every single day. It's a podcast. You could watch it in video or listen to it as audio. You can download it, you can stream it, and you get it completely ad-free if you could become a member of the Young Turks. TYTnetwork.com/join.